You are wearing a $90 shirt that cost $8 to make. The fabric is standard polyester. The stitching is average. The fit is generic, but the logo on the chest, that logo added $60 to the price before it ever left the factory. Here is what the sportswear industry does not want you to figure out. Most of the brands filling your gym bag, your wardrobe, and your running shoes are not competing on performance. They are competing on perception, and perception is expensive. We ranked 11 sportswear brands. 5 are charging you for marketing budgets, celebrity deals, and logo placement. 6 are putting your money into the fabric, the construction, and the durability of the garment itself. Same price range, completely different priorities. Starting with the brand that built an empire on innovation, and now coasts on the name. Number 1, Nike. Nike spends more money telling you it is the best than almost any other company on the planet. And for a long time, that was enough. But look at what that money actually buys you today. A standard Nike training shirt retails for $45 to $65. The fabric is basic dry fit, a moisture-wicking polyester blend that has been on the market since 1991. There is nothing proprietary about it. There is nothing engineered about it. It is the same hydrophobic polyester weave you will find in shirts from brands charging a third of the price. Now, look at their elite tier. The Vaporfly and Alphafly running shoes retail for $250 and above. Nike markets them as the pinnacle of performance footwear, and technically, they are impressive. Carbon plate, PEBA-based midsole, energy return that genuinely works. But here is the number Nike does not put on the box. Those shoes are designed to last approximately 200 miles. For a recreational runner logging 20 miles a week, that is less than 3 months before the midsole degrades and the performance drops off entirely. $250, 3 months, then you buy again. That is not innovation. That is a subscription model disguised as a shoe. And then there are the MLB Vapor Premier jerseys. $300 at retail. Heat-pressed logos, thin fabric, no embroidery. Reviewers describe them as looking cheap the moment you hold them. The construction does not match the price. The price matches the Nike swoosh. Nike's gross margin tells the full story. For every dollar you spend, the actual garment accounts for a fraction of it. The rest is the $150 billion brand machine running behind every product you pick up off the shelf. The dry fit technology in your $60 training shirt is real. The performance justification for the price is not. Number 2, Alo Yoga. Alo Yoga does one thing better than almost any brand in the sportswear space. It makes you feel like you are buying performance gear when you are actually buying a lifestyle aesthetic. The brand started as a technical yoga company. It is now a status symbol. And the transition from one to the other is exactly where the consumer gets left behind. A basic Alo hoodie retails for $118. A pair of leggings starts at $98 and climbs well past $130. The fabrics, marketed under names like Airlift and Airbrush, are visually appealing. They photograph well. They look premium on a studio floor. But put them through actual training and the story changes fast. Consumer reports across multiple platforms consistently flag the same issue. Extreme pilling, not after months of wear, after a single wash cycle. The Accolade line, one of Alo's most marketed products, has been reported to shed and develop fabric balls after the first time it goes through a washing machine. That is not a durability problem. That is a material science problem. Short synthetic fibers in a loose weave construction will always break down under the agitation of a standard wash. Alo knows this. They built the garment for the mirror, not the machine. The customer service compounds the issue. Rigid return policies, complaints about peeling logos on arrival, uneven seams on products that cost more than a week's worth of groceries. Here is the number that defines Alo Yoga. A pair of premium leggings retailing for $128 costs between $20 and $30 to manufacture. In some supply chain reports, base production costs drop as low as $7 per unit. The gap between what it costs to make and what you pay is not filled with better fabric. It is filled with influencer partnerships, studio aesthetics, and the social signal of carrying an Alo bag into a yoga class. The resale market confirms it. Alo yoga leggings resell for $30 to $50 on average. Lululemon's equivalent resells for $40 to $70 and holds that value for years. The secondary market does not lie about what a garment is actually worth. Number 3. Gymshark. There was a version of Gymshark that genuinely deserved its reputation. Affordable, well-constructed lifting gear that outperformed brands charging twice the price. That version of Gymshark built one of the fastest-growing fitness brands in the world. That version is gone. Today, Gymshark leggings retail for $50 to $70. The price moved up. The quality moved in the opposite direction. Recent iterations of the Vital and Whitney lines are reported to be significantly thinner than previous versions, thin enough to become see-through during a squat. For a brand built on gymwear, that is a fundamental failure of the core product. But the pricing strategy is where Gymshark crosses a line. During Black Friday cycles, documented reports show Gymshark raising the listed regular price of items immediately before a sale to manufacture the appearance of a deeper discount. Socks that retailed for $12 were relisted at $26 before being marked down to create the illusion of a deal. That is not a sale. That is a pricing manipulation designed to exploit the psychology of discount shopping. The resale data tells the same story the quality data does. Gymshark products resell for $15 to $25. That is the market's honest assessment of what the garment is worth once the marketing is removed. Gymshark built its brand on athlete utility. It is now running on athlete nostalgia, and the gap between what it charges and what it delivers is widening every product cycle. Number 4. Alphalete. Alphalete occupies a specific corner of the fitness market, the aesthetic-first, influencer-driven demographic that wants glute-enhancing fits and scrunch designs. And within that corner, it charges a premium that has no relationship to the construction behind it. The core problem with Alphalete is not that the products look bad. It is that the products are sourced from the same manufacturing hubs, Dongguan, Shenzhen, as budget brands charging a third of the price. The textile mills are the same. The fabric blends are comparable. The stitching methods are equivalent. The only meaningful difference between an Alphalete legging and a budget alternative from the same supply chain is the logo on the waistband. Mixed consumer reviews consistently flag the same issues: fabric quality and stitching durability that do not justify the markup. The aesthetic delivers. The engineering does not. This is the logo tax in its purest form. You are not paying for a better garment. You are paying for the brand's marketing budget and the influencer content that convinced you the garment was worth more than it is. Number 5. Under Armour. Under Armour built its entire identity on one promise: performance technology that outworks every other brand on the market. The heat gear and cold gear lines were genuinely innovative when they launched. Compression technology that regulated body temperature, managed moisture, and held up through serious training. For a period, Under Armour was the performance choice for athletes who cared more about function than fashion. That period ended when the brand pivoted toward lifestyle and celebrity marketing. Today, a standard Under Armour training shirt retails for $35 to $55. The fabric technology that justified the original premium has been diluted across a product range that now prioritizes shelf presence over performance engineering. The compression gear that once set the brand apart is now available at comparable quality from multiple competitors at lower price points. The financial picture confirms the strategic drift. Under Armour has spent years restructuring, cutting costs, and chasing a market position it no longer clearly owns. It is not premium enough to compete with Nike on brand equity. It is not technical enough to compete with specialist performance brands on engineering. It sits in the middle, charging performance prices for a product that no longer leads on performance. The original Heat Gear compression shirt was worth every dollar. The current version of Under Armour, at current prices, is coasting on a reputation it built 15 years ago. Number 6. Patagonia. Patagonia does not run celebrity campaigns. It does not drop seasonal collections. It does not pay influencers to wear its gear in studio content. What it does instead is build garments that last over 20 years and then repair them when they wear out. The Workwear program is not a marketing gimmick. It is a functional repair and resale operation that extends the life of every garment Patagonia produces. When the zipper fails on a better sweater after a decade of use, Patagonia fixes it. That is a brand that is betting on the durability of its own product with real money. The material science backs the confidence. Patagonia uses GRS-certified recycled materials at a higher proportion than any mainstream sportswear brand. The construction uses flat-lock stitching and higher GSM fabrics, specifically engineered to resist the abrasion that causes pilling in lesser garments. The Strider Pro shorts and Better Sweater fleece are not trend pieces. They are technical garments built for repeated, demanding use. The resale market reflects the engineering. Patagonia products resell for $60 to $120 on average. Better sweater vests and raincoats hold their value for years because the secondary market knows the construction holds up. That is the most honest performance review a garment can receive. Patagonia is also a certified B Corp with a strong living wage commitment and full supply chain transparency. The ethical rating from Good On You places it in the good to great tier, the highest category in the index. The cost per wear on a Patagonia fleece worn 3 times a week for 10 years is lower than the cost per wear on an aloe hoodie that pills after the first wash. That is not a close comparison. Number 7. Lululemon, technical lines only. Lululemon is expensive. That is not in dispute. But expensive and overpriced are not the same thing. And the distinction matters when you are talking about the technical performance lines. The Wunder Train legging uses Everlux fabric. Everlux is specifically engineered for high-friction training, the kind of repeated squatting, lunging, and lateral movement that destroys lesser fabrics within months. It does not pill. It does not lose compression. It does not go see-through. That is not marketing language. That is the result of using Nylon 66, a premium polyamide variant that is measurably stronger and more durable than the standard nylon used by budget competitors. The Align legging holds 70% of its retail value on the resale market. That number is not an accident. It reflects consistent sizing, consistent quality, and a product that performs the same way after 50 washes as it did on day 1. Lululemon also offers free hemming and a quality promise that covers manufacturing defects. For a garment at this price point, that level of consumer protection is rare. The caveat is real. The lifestyle lines, the oversized hoodies, the casual joggers, the studio-to-street pieces, do not carry the same engineering justification. The technical lines earn the price. The lifestyle lines are closer to the Alo Yoga model than Lululemon would like to admit. Buy the Wunder Train. Skip the $148 oversized crew neck. Number 8. Adidas. Performance lines on sale. Adidas has a financial structure that works in the consumer's favor, if you know how to use it. The brand discounts approximately 36.9% of its product line, often by as much as 65%. That is not a promotional strategy. That is the default operating model of a company with a 3.23% net profit margin trying to move volume. The discount is structural. It is always there. And it means that paying full price for Adidas performance gear is genuinely optional. The Heat.RDY Elite line is legitimate performance engineering. Laser-cut ventilation panels. Heat-pressed construction that eliminates the weight and chafing of embroidered logos. Body-mapped zoning that places cooling mesh in high heat areas based on actual thermoregulation data. This is the same technology worn by professional athletes at the highest level of competition. At 40% to 65% off, which is the price Adidas actually sells most of its product at, the Heat.RDY training range delivers elite-level fabric engineering at a price that competes directly with mid-tier brands charging full price for standard construction. The Ultra Boost running shoe at full retail is a difficult value proposition. The same shoe at 40% off during one of Adidas's perpetual sales cycles is one of the best cushioned daily trainers on the market. The rule with Adidas is simple: never pay full price. The sale is not a sale. It is the real price. Number 9. Decathlon Kipron line. Decathlon is the brand that the sportswear industry does not want serious athletes to discover. The Kipron KD 900X is a carbon-plated running shoe with a PEBA-based midsole, the same foam compound used in Nike's Vaporfly and Adidas's Adizero. The energy return is comparable. The carbon plate geometry is competitive. Independent reviews place it alongside shoes costing $100 more in terms of race day performance. The retail price is approximately £130, roughly $160 US. Nike's Alphafly retails for $285 and is designed to last 200 miles. Decathlon's KD 900X carries a 1,000-kilometer warranty. That is 620 miles of guaranteed performance, more than 3 times the effective lifespan of the market leader, at nearly half the price. The Kipstorm Elite has been praised by independent running coaches for its stability and energy return, with direct comparisons to the Nike Alphafly in terms of race day feel. The difference is not in the shoe. The difference is in the brand's marketing budget, which Decathlon doesn't have, because it puts that money into the midsole instead. Decathlon does not sponsor athletes. It does not run Super Bowl campaigns. It builds technical gear and sells it at a margin that reflects what the product actually costs to make. For the serious runner who trains through shoes every few months, the Kipron line is the most rational performance purchase in the market. Number 10. Target All in Motion. The most surprising name on this list is also the most accessible. Target's All in Motion line has been independently tested and consistently described as producing garments that feel uncannily similar to Lululemon's premium lines at under $40. The performance tees use 4-way stretch fabric with moisture-wicking technology. The joggers include ABC-style crotch gussets, the same construction detail that Lululemon charges a significant premium for. The compression shorts hold their shape through repeated washing without the degradation that affects cheaper alternatives. The reason this is possible comes down to supply chain reality. Target's scale allows it to source high-quality materials from the same textile mills used by premium brands. The primary difference between a $38 all-in-motion legging and a $128 premium alternative is not the fabric source. It is the yarn grade, standard nylon versus nylon 66, and the logo on the waistband. For high-volume basics, training shirts, gym shorts, everyday joggers, All in Motion delivers 90% of the performance of luxury brands at 75% of the cost. That is not a compromise. That is an arbitrage opportunity that most consumers walk past every time they go to Target. Number 11. Old Navy Power Soft and Studio Smooth. Old Navy does not market itself as a performance brand. That is exactly why it belongs on this list. The Power Soft and Studio Smooth lines have been tested by marathon runners who report that the fabric holds up through years of high-intensity training with virtually no pilling and no loss of compression. That is a performance claim that Gymshark, at twice the price, cannot currently make about its own products. The price points during sales cycles drop to $15 to $25. At that number, Old Navy is not competing with Lululemon on brand equity. It is competing on cost per wear, and it wins. For athletes who go through high volumes of training gear, who wash their kit multiple times a week, and who need compression and moisture management without paying a logo premium, Old Navy's performance lines are the most rational entry-level choice in the market. The fabric survives what the training demands. That is the only test that matters. 11 brands. One question behind every price tag. Is this money going into the garment or into the campaign that sold it to you? 5 brands answered that question with marketing budgets, influencer deals, and logo placement. 6 answered it with fabric engineering, construction standards, and products that survive the washing machine, the training session, and the years of daily wear that follow. The best sportswear is not always the most expensive. It is the garment that performs the same way on day 300 as it did on day 1. It is the shoe that earns its price across every mile it covers. It is the brand that bets on the durability of what it builds, not on the size of the audience it can buy. Next time you pick up a piece of sportswear, do not look at the logo first. Look at what is holding it together. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this, and drop a comment with the brand that surprised you most.